every fight to make next at 205 pounds. We had Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev. If there is a champion that loses their belt that deserves an immediate rematch, out of all of them, Adesanya didn't deserve it. Dricus du Plessis didn't deserve it. Out of all of them, Alex Pereira is probably at the top of the list for champions that lose their belt. And that should probably get a shot right back at the champion. And that's exactly what I think should happen. I think Alex Pereira does deserve some time off. His last fight was in March. Before that, he was fighting really active non-stop throughout 2023 and 2024, and even before that. So now that he's gotten his break, his last fight was in March, April, May, June. It is only 3 months since that last fight. July, August, September, October. Let's give him a little bit more than a 7-month break. And then he fights Magomed Ankalaev in October in Abu Dhabi, where he is not going to have the home crowd advantage. So he gets some time off, but in the exchange, he gets Ankalaev's crowd instead. I think that makes perfect sense. Do the fight in October. If Alex Pereira wins, we could do a trilogy, as you know, Ankalaev's beaten a lot of the other contenders. Pereira has beaten a lot of contenders. So it could make for a good, come up for a trilogy here if Alex Pereira wins in a great fashion. So we'll see what happens. I think this fight should happen in October. Personally, I thought July, August was where I was hoping it would be. I was hoping this fight would be on the UFC Chicago card, and I thought Dricus versus Hamzat maybe on the Abu Dhabi card, but it's already booked. UFC 320 is probably going to have something else. So October, in Abu Dhabi, Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev. Makes perfect sense for me, in my opinion. Then we got Carlos Ulberg and Jiří Prochazka as a number 1 contender fight. I want to give, Carlos Ulberg some time off. I'm hearing August, September range is when the UFC is thinking about doing another Australia fight card. I don't know if it's going to be a fight night or a pay-per-view, but that's typically the time period that they are going to do one. I would not be opposed to Ulberg versus Jiří Prochazka as the main event of one of those cards. I would not be opposed at all to an Ulberg Jiří Prochazka 5-round main event in Australia, in Perth. Would not be opposed to that fight. Number 1 contender fight. Winner gets the winner of Ankalaev, Alex Pereira. If they win in a great fashion. If Ulberg wins a very close decision, if Jiří wins a boring decision, and then Alex Pereira wins the belt, we could probably just do a trilogy. But if Ulberg goes out there and starches Jiří, if Jiří, boom, knocks out Ulberg, we definitely do have cause to give them a title fight, even over a potential trilogy or whatever the case may be between Alex and Magomed Ankalaev. I think this is the perfect fight to make. It is between, I think, number 2 and number 3. Yeah, number 2 Jiří versus number 3 Ulberg. Then we got Jamal Hill at number 4. He's already got a fight booked, so UFC's done their job there. He lost his last fight, so he's got to fight a guy below him. Khalil also lost his last fight, but it was to Alex Pereira. They're just rebooking this fight. I think it's a great fight. I don't think Khalil really deserves a shot in the top 5. I really thought Jamal Hill versus Dominic Reyes made a lot of sense. I think Dominic deserves it because he's coming off wins. Khalil, honestly, should have probably fought like a Rakic. Honestly, should have fought a Rakic, number 6 and number 7. But they already booked the fight. Nothing I can really do there. This isn't what I would do. I would have done Khalil Roundtree versus Rakic as the main event of Azerbaijan, and it would have made a little bit more sense to the region. Rakic is from that kind of area. And I would have done Jamal Hill. Who did I just say? Jamal Hill versus Dominic Reyes, 2 former UFC champions / title contenders. I thought that would have made a lot of sense. But this is the fight, so Azerbaijan main event a few weeks from now. We'll see what happens there. Reyes versus Jan Blachowicz again. I would have wanted Reyes versus Jamal Hill, then Jan Blachowicz versus somebody below him. But I'm not opposed to a rematch here. I think you could mix and match these two. Alexander Rakic, I could do Alexander Rakic versus Dominic Reyes, and that wouldn't be too bad of a fight. But then Volkan doesn't really deserve to get a step up versus Jan Blachowicz. So you have to pick and choose, and I'd rather get this rematch. Reyes versus Jan. Jan is on the down. Reyes is on the up. Jan has already beat him. Reyes lost to him, but now they're going in different directions in their career. They're different fighters. They've improved. They've went down in skill, went up in skill. So I'd like to see what the fight, how the fight plays out now. This was for the vacant title a few years ago after John Jones vacated. So wouldn't be mad at this fight at all. Like I said, Volkan versus Rakic just makes sense ranking wise. Number 6 versus number 9. Again, Dominic, I'd rather get him a bigger step up. Khalil's already got his step up. Nikita's got a fight. Johnny Walker's fighting below him. Azamat's already got a fight, so it's the only thing you could really do here. Azamat, I would like to see him versus the loser of Khalil versus Jamal Hill. So if you were thinking maybe do Azamat versus Rakic, again, I want to do Azamat versus the loser of Jamal and Khalil Roundtree as a fight. He wins that one. He gets a top 5 shot title fight for Azamat Murzakanov. So this fight is one that I think it's a rematch. I think they fought a few years ago, but I think it's been like 5 years since the fight, maybe 4 years since this fight, maybe longer, maybe less. Still think it's a good fight. Still think it's a solid fight, but it's just losers got to take a big step down in competition. If Rakic loses, we're giving him a Zhang Mingyang. If who'd I just say? Volkan Oezdemir loses, we're giving him an Umar Sy. We're giving him an unranked guy, etc. So, yeah, that's what I kind of have to say about that one. We already got this fight booked, Bogdan versus Nikita Krylov. Again, I would have done Bogdan versus Rakic. Straight up. I would have done Rakic versus Bogdan, and I would have done Volkan Oezdemir versus Nikita Krylov. I would have thought that would have been fun. I mean, there's a lot of other things you could have done if the UFC didn't book it how they have booked it. I don't like how they booked it, but this is how they did it. This is how they did it, so we're going to have to deal with that, unfortunately. Bogdan versus Nikita Krylov. Not a bad fight. I just thought Bogdan should have got pushed up a little bit more, and Nikita should have got pushed down a little bit more. Then we got Ming Yang versus Johnny Walker. Not a big step up for Zhang Ming Yang, just the number 11. Again, I would have done Zhang versus Nikita, and I would have done Johnny Walker versus Azamat, which I don't think Johnny got injured and pulled out. I don't know what happened there. I was perfectly content with Azamat versus Johnny. Winner gets the loser of Jamal versus Khalil. Cancellations, weirdness, but Zhang Ming Yang, Johnny Walker is rumored to be on that China card later this year, August 23rd. If that does come to fruition, I'm not mad at it. I think Ming Yang should get a bigger step up, but I'm still not mad at this fight either way. It is a good fight for Ming Yang Zhang to get another knockout in China in front of his fans, so not mad at this fight at all. It's a solid fight. This fight is happening this weekend. Brenderson Ribeiro, I think he's on 2 wins in a row. I could be wrong. I think Caio Machado, and then, what is his name? DR Nirgojai. I was about to say Yuran Sadibaldia, but he's the guy that lost to Martin Badai up in the heavyweight division. Brenderson, if he wins this one, he'd be 3 in a row in the light heavyweight division, and I'd honestly just give him a big step up. If he's able to beat Azamat Murzakanov, again, I'd still do Khalil versus Jamal Hill loser, because that's a good bounce-back win for either Khalil or Jamal. Would be totally fine with that. If Azamat wins, sure, that's a great test to beat a former title challenger, former champion, get himself but get himself into title contention. Not mad at that either. So good things coming for the winner of Azamat and Brenderson for a shot inside of that top 10. Not mad at that at all. It's a good fight, but I would have liked Azamat versus Johnny Walker. Umar Sy getting a shot inside of the top 15 versus number 15, Alonzo Menifield. This one is in 2 weeks. Yeah, 12 days. June 14th in Atlanta, I believe. I think Umar Sy is going to win the fight. If he wins it, again, I would say the loser of one of these fights coming up. I don't know what. Maybe the loser of, like, let's say Azamat loses. We can do Azamat versus him. If Bogdan and Nikita Krylov, the loser there, the winner there. Either way, Umar Sy can fight Bogdan or he can fight Nikita Krylov in France. I wouldn't be mad at a Bogdan Umar Sy UFC France fight. I wouldn't be mad at a Volkan Oezdemir if they're able to book Volkan versus Rakic in June, July. Schedule the winner of that one, the loser of that one versus Umar Sy in France. Wouldn't be mad at that either. So there's a lot of things you can do there. Umar Sy, top 10 shot after this with Alonzo Menifield. Azamat, Khalil Roundtree, Jamal Hill, loser. Zhang Ming Yang, Johnny Walker. If he wins that one, get him a shot inside the top 10 as well. Bogdan, if he wins, top 10. Nikita, if he loses, give him Umar Sy in France. Rakic versus Volkan. Loser's the new gatekeeper. The winner is also a gatekeeper. It's just the loser is the gatekeeper to enter the top 15. The winner is the gatekeeper to enter the top 10. So we got layers of gatekeepers in this light heavyweight division. Legendary fight. Former champion, former two-time title challenger. Just a great rematch in my opinion. Great fight. I don't think it should have happened, but it's happening. This, I think, is a mandatory fight. This fight better happen. And then we'll do the rematch for sure. Thank you guys for watching. Those are the fights to make next at 205 pounds. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one.